What is happening, everybody? So today is Sunday, and if I flip my camera around I can show you we're having a blizzard in Oklahoma. So I decided to come out to the shop, and I'm adding a front graph to my Champion boat. I've already added the new GARMIN 93 SV to the console. I absolutely love it. I got the deal that was a couple weeks ago for $5.99, and it is worth every penny, guys, I'm telling you. So I went ahead, they're still running the sale. Now it's $6.49 now instead of $5.99. But I went and picked one up yesterday. We're gonna throw that thing in the front of my Champion, and I'm gonna take y'all along for the ride. Y'all stay tuned. All right, so here we are. I've been messing with this thing for like 10 minutes trying to figure out the best way to put my camera, and I'm just holding it right now. The lighting is terrible because, well, let me show you what's outside. Oh yeah, and it's coming down good. So I got to keep the camera pointed away from that, otherwise it's a white out in here and you can't see anything. So anyway, I'm going to kind of go over what I've got and kind of the steps we're going to do to get this thing put in. So first off is the mount. Back here, I'll kind of walk you back here. You can see my console mount there. The ram mount that was here was on the boat when I got it, so I didn't have to purchase a ram mount. The gimbal comes with the 93 SV and all the GARMIN graphs. So I had to purchase a ram mount from Bass Pro. And this is a ram, I kind of get it, this is odd holding it with my hand. This is a ram mount that will hold 9-inch and higher graphs. So really sturdy. It was $100. I mean, it wasn't cheap. So, but anyway, the gimbal will mount right on top of that, and we'll get that screwed right to the deck. So, and then of course, there's the baby, the 93 SV. And man, I can't tell you how user-friendly that graph is. It is unbelievable. And I'm not a big graph person. I mean, by no means do I know a lot about graphs. I don't. But what experience I've got with them, I've had Humminbirds and I've had Lowrance. Both are good graphs. I'm not downplaying them. But as far as being user-friendly and what this thing can do moving forward, this was a no-brainer for me. So anyway, we're going to get to it. Okay, so you can see right here there was an old Lowrance graph that was here. It actually was burnt up when I bought the boat. You can see where the base was mounted. So we're going to go back with the ram mount. We're going to go back with it right there. I've got an access right here. This is where my access to where my power is. And then we'll run our transducer cable over and down the trolling motor. So first things first, we're going to get this thing mounted. I've got some 1.25 or 1.5. I think they're number 10 screws, I think. I'm going to pre-drill and then dab some silicone on it as I drill through, and we'll get this mounted. That should be good and sturdy. Okay, so I got the ram attached to the deck, and these are 3 number 12 1.5 screws. I've got some silicone that was squirted in the hole before I put these in. And be sure when you get these that these are stainless. You don't want anything that's going to rust up here. And then if you want to, you can come back and dab some black paint on that if you want to make that. That's probably what I'm going to do, just to hide that silver a little bit. But anyway, that's where the ram's going to go, or is actually. And I mean, I've got full mobility of it anyway I need to go. So I think that turned out okay. So the next step is we're going to take this plate off, and we're going to access the wiring. For the old graph, the power wires are still in here, so I'm hoping that it's not a problem between here and there at the console where the switch is hot wired. So the next step is take this off, access the power wires, and see where we're at. Alright guys, so I took this access off, and this is old transducer power something, I don't know. I could not find the power source here. So I took my trim plate off, and luckily, whoever had the boat before had power ran for a second graph, and it was coiled around just a bunch of wires in there. So I found the hot and the negative. I cut those loose because it was actually marked graph, and I did a soft wire, which is just making sure before I do anything permanent, I wanted to make sure this was hot. I turned the power on at the console, and we're live, baby. So now I'm going to tuck these back in, get me a fish wire, fish over and fish the power cable for the Garmin over, and then do a hard connect in here where they won't come loose. We'll electrical tape them up, screw the trim panel back down, and then we'll run our transducer. We're done. So y'all stay tuned. Okay, so I managed to finally get the wire routed. Tried to go in one way, but the part that plugs into the back of the unit wouldn't pass through that hole when it was duct taped or taped to my fish wire. So I had to do it the opposite way, and I finally got the fuse through that hole, but I did get it routed through. It's coming out, so I'm getting ready to make my hardwire connections, and then we should be ready to go. Only thing left to do is just mount the gimbal and then mount the graph, run the transducer, mount it to the trolling motor, and then get it all zip tied down. So stay tuned, we're getting there. Alright, and we're back. So we got the gimbal mounted to the RAM, and what I did, let me kind of loosen it up and show you. So I did, these are number 10 1-inch bolts, stainless steel, and then they came with the number 10 nuts and washers with them. I want them to be lock nuts, but they were not. So just to get me by for now, I put some thread lock on it, which you can pick up thread lock anywhere. I know everybody's seen thread lock before. Put quite a bit of thread lock on these, tighten them down good. It'll set up in about 10 minutes, good and tight in about 24 hours, but I don't plan on going fishing until next weekend. But this is a very common size, so I can go to Lowe's or wherever, I just don't live very close to one, and get some number 10 lock nuts, and I'll replace these with the lock nuts. I won't have to worry about it coming loose. So the next thing is I'm going to get the graph mounted, and then I'm going to run my transducer, get it mounted on the trolling motor, get everything zip tied down, cleaned up, and that will be the end of the install. So I will check back with you in a minute when we get the graph mounted and start running the transducer. Alright everybody, there's the finished product. Got her mounted, got my transducer ran, I got it zip tied up, my trolling motor down, all the way down, got the transducer on the bottom. This transducer cable is really long. That's really the only way I can figure out how to do it is just zip tie a loop there. I don't know if anybody's got any suggestions on how to do that. Put them in the comments down below. But all in all, it's pretty easy. Other than just running that wire from there to there. that was the tough part, because that's where the hot wires were for to wire in the graph. So anyway, hey, can't beat it. I've got 2 Garmins now that I can link together. I didn't get a network cable. But this 93 SV can take Panoptics or live scope, so hopefully the next thing I'm going to get will be live scope added after a new trolling motor. This is the original trolling motor. So, but with that being said, it is cold, it is still snowing. I'm going to take my little girl outside and make some snowmen and go do a little bit of sledding, I believe. But anyway, hope everybody's warm, has a great holiday season. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Stay safe. Take care of each other, and we will see you next time from the water. This is Jonathan, and I'm out. We'll see you.